Okay, I'm going to make my own smoke markers today, and I went on to YouTube and I found all the different videos, so we're going to give it a shot. And it's going to be a step-through process, and I'll show you, step by step how I'm going to do it, and then what we end up with when the very end. And it's 4 Flames of War, the 15mm smoke markers that you see everybody using that look great, and I'm going to give it my very own shot. All right, so what we have here is I've just got I'm just using standard paper clips. And then what I did is I just take the paper clip and I'm going to straighten it out and make it as straight as I can. And then down here at the bottom, I want to make a little loop in it, and so I have something to glue it to. And then all I'm going to use is just a regular penny, and I'm just going to glue that right on the penny. One of the things that I'm going to do though is I'm going to twist this around, so that way I can bend this up and make that straight. Now, these are really a good stout paper clip, as you can see by the size there, that it's a pretty good stiff paper clip, so it's going to hold up really well to a lot of use. So I got a little extra here. I'm just going to take my side cuts and cut that off. And then you can use these without bending down on it, and then take it to just bend that vertical, just like that. So the next thing I'm going to do, then we'll take a little crazy glue, super glue, whatever you want to use will work just fine. And I'm going to put a little bit on the penny there. And make sure you keep your cap on your crazy glue, otherwise it'll not work. And then I'm just going to stick the wire onto the penny, and then I'm going to hold that there till it holds. Okay, so now we have the penny is now glued securely to the paper clip, as you can see here. That'll stand up all on its own. So what you're going to need to actually make your smoke marker is you're going to need this product here from Woodland Scenics. You can see you get, for 20 bucks, you get a nice sized bag of it. And you're going to want these big clumps like this. So take out 3 or 4 of them, find the nicest, biggest clumps. And we'll start with that. And then, ahead of time, just take some regular Elmer's glue, and then you're going to mix that 50-50 with water and glue, and then just a dab of dish detergent, and it'll give you a mixture like this. And we're going to use this. This will be our hardener, and we'll put that on after we get there. Or you can just use a little bit of super glue, and we're going to give that a shot. So we're going to put some super glue on the penny, and then on the wire here, and get a nice even coat, because we want to cover this penny up so we don't see it. A little bit will do you with this stuff, so don't go crazy with it or it'll take too long to dry. And then I'm going to take a nice clump of my product here, and I'm going to peel it apart in half, and then I'm going to wrap it around my wire on the base. Then I'm going to give it a good pinch. I'm going to really push it down on there hard, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, count to 3. And as you can see, I've got a little bit stuck to my finger. I had a little bit of crazy glue on my finger. Now I have a little bit of clump foliage that I get to live with for a day or so until it runs away. So this is what you end up with, and this is kind of the start of your smoke marker. Don't get rid of these little pieces here. We're going to use those here in a minute. So you may want to just knock off any excess that it's going to fall off, because we're going to put it back on later. So now that we have our base, we're going to make our basic shape of our smoke marker. So maybe we want this one to bend to the right, and then maybe curve around and then back up. Whatever you want. Doesn't make any difference. This one's a bit long, So we're going to take our side cuts again and just cut that off, maybe. There we go. Oh, a thing on the side cuts, make sure that you have, there's a flat side and an indented side. Whenever you clip something with these type of pliers, make sure you have the indented side facing away from you, because that's the way that the material that you're cutting is going to fly. So let's curve that around. All right, that looks good, nice and curly. So you can make these any shape you want. There's no predetermined pattern, as long as it's, you know, not straight. And that's how I feel it should be, straight. So we're going to run a bit of super glue right up the piece of wire here. And then we're going to go back to our clump foliage again, and then we're going to take a piece and we're going to rip it here, and we're just going to stick it to the wire. Again, give it a good squeeze. Make sure it really gets stuck to that wire really well. And we're just going to continue to work on up the length of the wire. Okay, so we got it all glued up, and this is what we ended up with. As you can see, it kind of goes all the way to the top, and it kind of has a nice little twist to it. But if you look around the edges of the penny here, we've got some exposed penny here, so we're just going to take our super glue and we're going to clean that up. And that's what these little extra pieces that you don't get rid of for. So you just run a little bit there where it's exposed. And then you just take these little pieces and you just shove them on there. Like so. And I got a couple spots up here where you can kind of see the wire right there. So I want to touch those up. Again, you want to make sure that it's covered, that you don't see anything. Again, make sure you give it a good squeeze. Make sure you really get it stuck well. Oops, apparently I got it stuck too well. Got a little super glue in my finger there. You can't squeeze this stuff hard enough because it just expands right back out to where it started from, so never fear. Alright, so got it all covered up, got the bottom covered up, got a little bit of extra on the bottom, which is better than having it the other way. And now, so again, don't throw this stuff away, just kind of brush it to the side here a little bit. We're going to go to our mixture here for our hardener. And all we're going to do with this is we're just going to paint it on here and be generous with it. Don't be stingy. We're just going to dab this all over it until it's nice and saturated all the way around. And what will happen is the clump foliage is going to absorb this glue that's in here and harden up like a rock, and it'll be really nice and durable for lots of use. Hopefully not too much use. If you're using it too much, your tanks are getting killed too much. You need to rethink your strategy. Okay, so glue's on, and then you just need to leave the set this and let it dry, and you need to rotate that about every 2 hours so that way it doesn't glue to whatever you just sat it on.